Juba Echo TV.
Hi Vicky. Hello. Good to see you. It's been a while. How are you?
Hey.
Are you alright?
That you're doing.
Where are you guys headed to?
Sweetheart, I'm going to Entebbe.
Oh,
I was
amazing.
supposed to go on Tuesday, but I missed that flight.
Of course.
And I have to wait for tomorrow.
That is good that you're also going to Entebbe. But what about you, Diana?
I also had Premier got to Mogadishu from Nairobi.
Okay, that is good.
Since they are dealing with cargo, I also have some cargo I have to send to Mogadishu.
Good. All the best. I just hope you get it and you're through with your cargo. Even you, Vicky.
Thank you, darling.
I just hope you get for tomorrow and you're
Thank
off.
you so much.
Thank you so much. I have to catch up. Let me let you.
Okay.
All right, dear. Thank you.
Hi dear.
How are you?
I'm okay. I want to go to Entebbe tomorrow. Do you have space?
Yeah, tomorrow we have flight to Entebbe.
Okay, please. Kindly get me my ticket.
Okay, dear. Dear, here's your ticket.
Oh,
And thank you for choosing Premier Airlines.
Thank you so much. At what time is the check-in,
Our
please?
check-in time tomorrow it will be at 7:30.
I can see it is included.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Enjoy your flight and your holiday.
Thank you so much.
At Premier Airlines, we are committed to providing you with the best travel offers and exceptional service, making every journey easy, fast, and stress-free. From smooth luggage handling to seamless boarding. Our experienced and dedicated staff are here to ensure your comfort and convenience every step of the way. Book your flight today and discover the skies with Premier Airlines. Visit our head office in Juba at Airport Business Center, Airport Road opposite Sadeco Building. Call the numbers on the screen, or you can as well email us today. We are here to plan your journey. Premier Airlines, discover the skies.
It's very bad. I have to go pitching this car.
Yes, your needs the insurance.
Yes, hello. I just got involved in it. Right. It's really looking terrible.
Would you kindly send me the detail on my WhatsApp? I'm gonna send you our team.
So please do that. Please do that.
Insure with New Sudan Insurance Company. New Sudan Insurance Company offers motor insurance, health insurance, hotel comprehensive insurance, marine hull and cargo insurance, group personal accident insurance, travel health insurance, fire insurance, contractors all risk, workmen compensation insurance, money insurance, goods in transit insurance, life insurance, property all risk insurance, performance bond, plant and machinery insurance, political violence and terrorism cover, and much more.
I will request you sign here. Okay.
New Sudan Insurance Company is your trusted partner in securing what matters most to you. You are not just a policy holder, you are a family. Visit New Sudan Insurance Company website www.nesico.com or call +211 925 955 000 or +211 919 123 678 or +211 925 478 766 to be part of this family and protect what matters most to you. New Sudan Insurance Company, your risk managers in the Republic of South Sudan.
This is the news hour. I'm Rita Ilwa. Coming up, President Kiir reaffirms support for peace in Sudan. In more to come, IGAD-ILO joint mission advances South Sudan's free movement protocol implementation. And international extreme heat hits Sudan, prompting health warnings. This is much more coming in the news in detail. President Salva Kiir Mayardit has reaffirmed South Sudan's commitment to supporting peaceful dialogue in neighboring Sudan. President Kiir on Monday met with Darfur Governor General Mini Arko Nimawi in Juba to discuss regional stability, the ongoing conflict in Sudan, and efforts to revive political dialogue among the warring parties.
الرئيس يقوى سيادة سلفا كير ميادي رئيس دولة جنوب السودان يصبل في قصر الرئاسة السيد مارشال منكادو مناوي رئيس سلطة دارفور لغاية يتعلق باستقرار والأمن وتنوير الأوضاع الأمنية في السودان. أكد السيد الرئيس اهتمام دولة جنوب السودان لازم يتحقق السلام. السودان يبدو الحرب. نحن الشعب السوداني جزء عسيم من شعب جنوب السودان يتأكل مع بعض وتعيش مع بعض. أي هروب في السودان بتأثر في الجنوب، أي هروب في الجنوب بتأثر في السودان. وأكد الرئيس وجود أبناء السودان في جنوب السودان حقه. نحن جزء من الجنوبيين وإذا كان يعيش محله في جنوب السودان ويناقش القضايا التي تواجه أبناء الجهاد السوداني أو الحسين صورته لجنوب السودان حق تشرف في كل ولايات الجنوبيين. وكان نحن ديل قاعدين كل أمن واستقرار. نحن أكد الرئيس اهتمام لقضية السودان لازم تكون أولويات السلام والاستقرار في السودان.
وتناول عدد من القضايا. فهو أولا أكد أنه سلام السودان هو سلام جنوب السودان، واستقرار السودان هو استقرار جنوب السودان. وهو طبعا خاطبنا بأنه هو سوداني وليس جنوب السودان ولا شمال السودان. فهو يرى أن الأولويات في المنطقة يجب أن تكون هنالك استقرار واضح والعمل من أجل صناعة الاستقرار الدائم رغم المآسي التي ألمت بنا في المنطقة جميعا. وكذلك نحن أكدنا له أن اتفاق سلام جوبا كان مساهم في الاستقرار بتاعت السودان ووحدة السودان، مساهمة كبيرة جدا، بما هو يعني النتائج الواضحة في الشارع والنتائج الواضحة في الطريق أنه القوات المسلحة والمشتركة دي كانت هي نتاج لاتفاق جوبا. وهذا التلاحم طبعا جاء نتيجة للاتفاق بتاعت جوبا. الشيء الثاني برضو أكدنا له أنه دور جنوب السودان لا يمكن أن يلغى مهما كان العالم تحرك، مهما كان المبادرات تزاحمت في السودان. فإذا غابت دولة جنوب السودان وإذا غاب دور حكومة جنوب السودان بالتأكيد طبعا حيكون في نقص كبير جدا. فلذلك قلنا لازم يكون في حراك واضح في جهتين. الجهة الأولى واحد من أجل اللي هي من أجل تقييم اتفاق سلام جوبا أين وصل، وبالتالي يجب أن يكون في وفد بمندوب الرئيس هيكون في الخرطوم في الأيام القادمة بأن يجلس مع الأطراف في جوبا لمعرفة ما هو النقائص وما هو اللي هي النقاط التي يعني ما هي النقاط التي تم تنفيذها وغيرها، التقييم كامل. الشيء الثاني السلام الدائم والحوار الوطني، ده حتة مهمة جدا. يجب أن يكون دور الدولي والإقليمي ده يجي عبر جمهورية جنوب السودان. أفتكر ده الجوانب المهمة اللي احنا قلناه، فهو رحب بهذا الأمر. الشيء الأساسي في الأمر نحن وضحنا له وقلنا له، وسنقول أيضا هذه الرسالة لكل العالم اللي بفتكر إنه مشكلة السودان ده مجرد صراع بتاعت السلطة بين جنرالين. هذا غير صحيح، لأنه الذي قام به الدعم السريع في الحقيقة كانت إبادة جماعية وتطهير إرقي على أساس إرقي وعلى أساس قبلي. فلذلك أي سلام القادم وأي الدور الذي يعني يمكن أن يتبناه أي واحد يجب أن يخط في باله أنه ما جرى وما يجري الآن في جانب عرقي وجانب عنصري كبير جدا. وأهل دارفور ما لا يقل أن يعني سكان دارفور 12 مليون، الآن لم يتبقى سوى 2 مليون في داخل دارفور، فبالتالي الناس كلهم الآن أراضيهم أصبحت سكنت آخرين وديارهم سكنت آخرين وتاريخهم أيضا في ناس بدوا دايرين يخططوا ويكتبوا تاريخ جديد. فلذلك نحن قلنا إنه أي سلام قادم وأي استقرار الدائم إن لم يأخذ في الاعتبار هذا الجانب فما هيكون سلام.
The Intergovernmental Authority on Development IGAD Secretariat, in partnership with the International Labour Organization ILO and IOM African Capacity Building Center, has launched a specialized training program in Juba to strengthen the capacity of South Sudan's frontline border officers, funded by the European Union under Phase 2 of the support of the free movement of persons and transhumans in the IGAD region project. The initiative aims to enhance integrated border management while paving the way for South Sudan to ratify and implement the IGAD protocol on the free movement of persons. We have more in the following report.
Addressing participants, IGAD Secretariat Immigration expert Mahjoub Jamal emphasized that modern border governance requires robust institutional coordination to manage complex security challenges.
As IGAD member states advanced regional integration and the free movement, strengthening the capacity of border management institutions and frontliners officers is essential. Our borders must facilitate safe, orderly, regular, and secure movement, who's responding effectively to emerging challenges, including migrant smuggling, trafficking in person, illicit trade, and other forms of transnational organized crime. This challenge demonstrates that border management cannot be the responsibility of the institution or country alone. It requires effective interagency cooperation, timely information sharing, cross-border collaboration, appropriate technology, competent personnel, and strong institutional coordination.
Jamal noted that border management cannot be handled by a single agency or nation in isolation, calling instead for effective interagency cooperation, timely information sharing, and cross-border collaboration among immigration, police, and regional partners.
Integrated border management is ultimately about cooperation among immigration, police, and other border agencies, cooperation between neighboring countries, and cooperation among national, regional, and international partners.
ILO Technical Officer Kosivo Duotowovo, speaking on behalf of ILO Country Director Kumboga Ndaba, highlighted the economic and social potential of well-managed borders.
Across the IGAD region, borders are not only point of control. They are also places where regional integration became real, where people seek employment, business, move, goods, and service. Communities maintain long-standing social and economic ties, and member states translate regional commitment into day-to-day practice.
Duotonovo stressed that frontline border officials are often the first public authority migrant workers encounter, making their training vital to ensuring mobility occurs through legal channels, while safeguarding human rights and expanding labor opportunities across East Africa.
Effective border governance must therefore combine security with facilitation, protection, and respect for rights. Border officials are often one of the key public authorities encountered by migrant workers and other people on the move. Therefore, building their capacity is essential to ensure mobility takes place through safe, orderly, and regular channel while safeguarding migrants' rights and guaranteeing their access to appropriate technique, protection, and support mechanisms throughout the migration process.
Representing local immigration authorities, Yuang Market Yuang, Director of Training for South Sudan Civil Registry, Nationality, Passports, and Immigration, welcomed the capacity building initiative, highlighting its importance for national sovereignty and regional alignment.
So the border management is very important because we are members of IGAD as well as East Africa. So it needs a control, and also it is not bad also to show us out to be done. And we will also hear from these participants, they will be going out where they know how to go and implement the border management.
Over the course of the training, participants will cover key operational areas including document security, identity systems, labor migration governance, and cross-border protection mechanisms. Reporting for Juba Echo TV, I am Rabanya John Maju.
The Nyangwara Pojuluti Jor community has strongly condemned what it describes as unlawful attempts to grab and encroach on Nyamini land situated between Ladu and Dolo Payams in central Equatorial State. The community asserts that Nyamini is an ancestral, cultural, spiritual, and historical territory traditionally governed by the Nyangwara people, specifically the Napija clan of the Kuda, Boma, and the Nyangwara clan of Sirimon, Boma in Dola Payam. Speaking at a press conference on Monday, Yepeta Moga Abdallah, Secretary General of the Nyangwara People Tishijor community, stated that while the community remains committed to a peaceful resolution, it will continue to defend its ancestral land through all available lawful means. Peter Wani, the committee's secretary for land and development, noted that preliminary efforts to demarcate the Nyamini border were previously initiated during the tenure of the former Juba County Commissioner Stephen Wani.
The Nyangwara community remains committed to peace, but will firmly and lawfully defend its ancestral land against unlawful encroachment. We condemn all unlawful land grabbing activities and any official or unofficial support that enable them. Continued inaction risks deepening injustice, weakening public trust, and threatening peace. We call upon the state government to act decisively, fairly, and without delay. We call those personnel in armed uniform to avoid illegal land grabbing activities. Nyamini is more than land. It is memory, identity, inheritance, and justice. To defend Nyamini is to defend truth, lawful order, and dignity of ancestral communities. As the Nyangwara people, we stand firm in law defense of our land, resolute in our commitment to peace, and unwavering in our duty to protect what our ancestors entrusted to us, even it means lay down our lives.
We wanted to do the demarcation, but because of the dispute, the commission stopped us that please, you have to stop for the moment until the issue is being resolved. We are not yielding to this pressure or not raising up because of this pressure. That's why we choose to follow this right channel to reach the final decision. After that, then we think of what to do with them.
40 women leaders and electoral stakeholders gathered in Juba to identify barriers limiting women's participation in South Sudan's upcoming elections, highlighting limited campaign financing, political violence, harmful social norms, and inadequate civic education on key obstacles. The consultative meeting, organized by the Center for Inclusive Governance, Peace and Justice, with support from NORAD, through Karama, focused on on developing a comprehensive women's electoral preparedness strategy. The framework aims to guide women's political involvement through, during, and after the electoral cycle. Roslino Boy reports.
The call was made during a two-day consultation workshop organized by the Center for Inclusive Governance, Peace and Justice in Juba. The workshop brings together 30 women leaders and electoral stakeholders to discuss challenges facing women's political participation and develop a women's electoral preparedness strategy. Center for Inclusive Governance, Peace and Justice Executive Director Jacqueline Nasiwa said the strategy will help women understand the electoral process and prepare to participate as voters and candidates.
Civic education strategy is going to be part of our main activity as the Center for Inclusive Governance, Peace and Justice, because we want to create awareness on the legal framework for elections, legal framework for women's participation, and also popularize the strategy that the women themselves agree as their way of participating in the elections. So much as the document will be compiled by us, it's owned by the women. And we are hoping that this process will get support and that we will be able to support women in this electoral period in terms of their preparedness, in terms of understanding of the electoral process, their participation and influence in the governance sector.
Women Parliamentary Caucus Chairperson Viola Samuel Sati urged women to compete for leadership positions and support one another to achieve representation beyond the 35% affirmative actions threshold.
I have seen their young, beautiful faces also in the room. Do not shut yourself. Come forward, seek for mentorship, because you are not the leader of tomorrow, but you are already a leader. You cannot postpone being a leader because you are waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow that will never come. Tomorrow is right here and right now. Preparation of women. Let us move from just, telling women you have to participate, you have to participate. It is about time that women, let us move forward and let us compete with men.
Sisholon National Legislative Assembly Chief Whip Rebecca Joshua Okwachi called for peaceful elections and urged women to prepare for challenges, including insecurity, limited funding, and poor infrastructure.
I want to send this message very clearly that since we have systems in place, we have the laws, we have the National Elections Commission, and the National Elections Commission is the one which is responsible to tell us and to guide us on the processes of the elections. Elections are the democratic process, and countries are going through elections. South Sudan is not the first country that is going through elections. So I want to allay those fears that we start panicking even before we have moved forward. Why are we talking then about democratic processes if we don't want to go through that? We also came from a war situation, and some people those days used to say South Sudan will never be able to go through elections. So we went through the 2010 elections and we managed. Then again, the referendum, some voices outside the country and even within were saying that South Sudan people are not learned, they are not educated, they will not be able even to cast their votes. But we managed the referendum. I know this election is different because this is the first time we are going through elections after the peace in our country, but are we not able to do that? We have tried everything in this world, though we are a young country, but we manage. So I want to assure our public that let us brace up and be dignified, be patriotic, and only address the challenges that are before us, but we should not fear going through the democratic elections.
Central Equatoria State Parliamentarian Joyce Keji highlighted unpaid salaries, insecurity and poor roads as major challenges to electoral participation.
Challenges actually is that we have been working 3 years, no salaries. The National Parliament have been passing the arrears to be paid, but the Minister of Finance was not able to implement. And we urge the civil society to help us so that the arrears will be paid. Because when we go for our campaigns, the citizens will be asking us about their salaries. So what are we going to do? We actually urge the National Electoral Commission to ensure that also civil society organizations can also back us up to ensure that they talk to our government to pay the arrears so that we may be able even to get our own resources to mobilize our voters and to even to do voter educations. We know that the civil society will be able to help us to send us to do the voter education, but we need that question of salaries. How are we going to answer? We need to join hands together so that we ensure that these few months, let the salaries be paid so that we may be able to have money, and also the candidates will be able to leave something for their children.
Meanwhile, Youth Representative Nyandeng Elizabeth urged young people to reject violence, tribalism and misinformation and actively participate in the electoral process.
The message to the youth is to do not engage in violence. It is a negative aspect, and we have seen how it has tarnished our image in South Sudan and how it is taking us backwards. So let's say no to violence, let's be peace ambassadors, let's preach peace, talk about peace, say no to tribalism, let's support each other. When you see a fellow youth there in front, let us support them. And yeah, we are 70% of the population. Let's make sure that we engage and participate actively and continuously. Do not give up easily.
Participants said continued civic education, peaceful participation and stronger support for women and youth will be critical to ensuring inclusive and credible election in South Sudan. Roslyn Oboy for Juba Echo TV.
And now let's take a look at the news coming from across our borders. Extreme heat hits Sudan, prompting health warnings.
In Port Sudan, the Red Sea has become a refuge from the relentless heat. But for many residents, staying cool is becoming increasingly difficult as extreme heat coincides with power outages and serious water shortages.
The warning issued by the Ministry of Health was necessary because temperatures in the Red Sea region reached their peak and deaths were recorded, exceeding 3 cases in the past month alone.
Doctors say prevention is critical, urging residents to avoid the hottest hours of the day.
The most important thing is prevention and avoiding movement during peak hours and times of high temperatures. Wear light clothing and drink plenty of cool water and fluids.
The extreme heat is affecting daily life and productivity. At health centers, people have been arriving for treatment for heat stroke.
There are currently many people suffering from heat stroke at the health center, and they are receiving treatment. The health center currently has no more than 6 or 7 cases, and a few days ago, the number reached 70 cases of heat stroke due to the high temperatures. Despite this, we continue our work in the midst of this scorching heat.
Environmental experts warn Sudan's wider climate crisis cannot be separated from the conditions facing people today.
High temperatures affect production, public health and people's movement during daylight hours. This necessitates that the state place the issue of climate change on its agenda. The ongoing wars, gunpowder and bullets all have devastating effects on the environment, people's lives and contribute to rising temperatures.
Sudan's Meteorological Authority has warned that very hot conditions will continue across Red Sea, River Nile and northern states, with Port Sudan expected to remain particularly hot.
Morocco steps up security along borders with Ceuta and Melilla.
Moroccan authorities have arrested several people suspected of using social media to promote coordinated illegal crossings into Ceuta and Melilla. The Interior Ministry says those involved in spreading or organizing such calls will face legal action.
All necessary measures have been taken to prevent any illegal crossing attempt and intercept anyone seeking to take part. Legal action will also be taken against anyone found to have been involved in unlawful acts, including those promoting such calls on social media.
Security has been reinforced around both enclaves, with tighter checkpoints, additional personnel and strengthened border barriers.
As you can see, there's a large deployment of security personnel and public forces, backed by significant security equipment. The border crossing has also been reinforced and additional barbed wire barriers installed. not even a single person will be allowed to cross illegally.
The measures follow the deadly mass crossing into Ceuta in late July, highlighting the risks of online calls encouraging irregular migration.
These calls pose a serious threat to Moroccan society. They contribute to a loss of human life, deaths, and cases of people going missing. Our message to Moroccan families and society is clear. Do not follow or engage with online content that encourages irregular migration.
Morocco says border vigilance will remain high as authorities work to prevent further large-scale and potentially deadly crossings.
And internationally, President Xi Jinping addresses gathering marking the birth century of the late leader Xian.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has held indelible contributions of late leader Jiang Zemin and urged the Communist Party of China and the Chinese people of all ethnic groups to continue advancing the course of socialism with Chinese characteristics. Xi, also General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, made the remarks at the grand gathering at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, marking the centenary of Jiang's birth. President Xi said all the nation pays high tribute to Jiang's towering achievements and learns from his noble demeanor. He called for continuous efforts to create better lives for the Chinese people and write an even more brilliant chapter for the nation. In his tribute, President Xi described Jiang as a long-tested communist fighter and an outstanding leader of the great cause of socialism with Chinese characteristics. Jiang was the core of the third generation of the party's central collective leadership and the principal founder of the theory of three represents. Jiang was born in August 1926 in Yangzhou, Jiangsu Province. In 1989, he was elected General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee. He passed away in 2022 at the age of 96. And about 6,000 people were present at the commemoration ceremony.
And now coming up, the Daily Exchange Red. And this brings us to the end of the news bulletin. Here's a quick recap of a headline. Kiir reaffirms support for peace in Sudan. IGAD-ILO joint mission advances South Sudan's free movement protocol implementation. Extreme heat hits Sudan, prompting health warnings. That has been the news hour. I'm Rita Iba Matthew.
Find more news, sports, entertainment stories on Juba Echo TV.
Juba Echo TV. Information for empowerment.
Make sure you put your knives ready, get your handkerchief ready, because onions and crying, they have the same thing. Okay.
You call it Spanish omelette.
Something healthy with some onions.
One.
Welcome to the Flavors Unleashed. I'm Rita Ilwa, your host for this specific show where we bring you insights on what we call elevating your cooking skills. And this is it. This is how it looks like. Simple, and it's taken just minutes. Allow me to say, from the aroma of it